to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian and I am streaming to you live from beautiful, cloudy Budapest. I hope everybody is having a great weekend so far. Hi Chabi, Satisfying Times. Hi Barendra. Hi Pachu, Shilpa. Hi Carolina. Good to see many of you in this class ready to learn. This lesson is brought to you by aehelp.com for the academic version of the test. And for the general modules, check us out at gieltshelp.com. While we wait for a few more students to join in, I'll quickly show you those websites. This is the academic version here with the blue background. Click that big red button to join us there. For students in Saudi Arabia, you can register for your IELTS exam through us. We are British Council IELTS test registration partners as well. And for the general version of the exam, check us out at gieltshelp.com. Green background, click that red button. Join us there. Good to see many members in this class already. Hi, Roshni. All right. For those of you that don't have our app, download Academic IELTS Help. Look for our shield. You can watch our videos through the app and use the interactive courses as well as practice exams. If you have questions, send me an email, adrian@aehelp.com. I am happy to help you. Students, the schedule for this coming week, this is our last class for this week. Sunday, there is no class. Monday, Tuesday, no class as usual. And then I will be back at the same time as now with speaking part 1 on Wednesday. And then we will have classes all the way until the following week, Tuesday. Now, in this class, we are targeting the speaking section. So make sure to speak and repeat. Okay, the key here is repetition. When you hear me say a question, when you hear me say a sentence, don't be shy. Repeat with a nice, loud, clear voice. Copy my intonation. Copy my enunciation. Pronunciation. All right. Harman Mahil is asking, sir, how do examiners spot memorized answers? That's a great question. Let's start with that. Anybody know? That's a very good question. So how do examiners know that an answer is memorized? Okay, that's a great question. And before we get into our part 3, because we will focus on making sure that we have good, unique answers, that's a good one. Okay, Juan Pablo says because they're off topic somehow, they're unnatural. Yeah, off topic. Or forced. Okay, to give you more clarity on that, yeah, so NA, I remember saying it's not relevant enough. They're too general. Okay, so okay, and there is one other way that they will recognize it. And Roshni, I think you're giving us an example of that, is it's the same phrase, word, or answer that the examiner has heard 20 times that day. Like plethora, or well, No, let's go with a different one. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak about. Okay. Or now this one may make sense in some contexts, but students definitely overuse it. There are several reasons for this. Firstly, okay, this one we hear for speaking part 2 all the time. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak about. There are lots of reasons. So all of those kind of have us believe that students probably coming up with some generic answer that they've memorized, okay? All right, so good question. So how do we make our answers unique? Okay. And if some of you were watching the last class 30 minutes ago, one of our members asked a very good question. How do I stay on topic? How do I keep my answers relatively simple, right? So the answer here is think of a specific example, think of the generic example, then think of the explanation for that example, then think of the answer. Yeah, exactly, Annie. So using some real life examples, then turn it around. What do I mean by that? Okay, I'll show you, and then you'll have a chance to answer on your own. Okay, so what are the different types of meetings that people often go to? Okay, so it's plural meetings. Okay, now I visualize 2 very quickly. Okay, so this is just my visualization. And as many of you know, I have a 3-year-old daughter. And right away, I pictured being in school for a parent-teacher meeting for my 3-year-old daughter. Okay? As well, I very quickly visualized meeting with staff to discuss web development for aehelp.com, which I do regularly during the week as we're developing our software. So that's my first step. As soon as I hear this, and it only takes me a fraction of a second to visualize, of course, with practice, going to meet with my daughter's preschool teachers and also to meet with my staff for AE Help development. Now, I take this, okay, and why? So, why do I meet with the teachers? To learn about my daughter's progress. Why do I meet with my staff? To develop new features for the website. What kind of meetings do people often go to? Work and school meetings. Okay, so now I have all of this information and you're thinking, wow, is that possible to think of that and then give a good response very quickly? Absolutely. Okay, now the trick here is I'm doing what's called down-up processing. So I'm thinking of the specific and then I'm going out towards the general. So I'm thinking of the example, the how can we see it? Because we're visual, okay? And then I'm switching to the why and the how. And then I come up with my answer, okay? And I would do this in the blink of an eye, Okay, so of course, the brain is able to do this beautiful up, down, up processing very, very quickly. So some common types of meetings that come to mind are for school and work, to learn about progress and plan for the future. I just met with my daughter's teachers last week to discover that she has mastered counting to 10, and I met with my staff to develop a new word processor feature for my company's website. Okay, funny enough, these are actually true in many ways. Okay, all right, so notice that now the answer is extremely specific to the question at hand. It's very fluid and clearly not memorized. So it's obviously a genuine answer, okay? This is not something a person would memorize in expectation to hear such a question. So again, going back, what are different types of meetings that people often go to? Boom, visualize. Why? What? Immediately, I see it, I understand it. Some common types of meetings that come to mind are for school and work, to learn about progress and plan for the future. I just met with my daughter's teachers last week to discover that she has mastered counting to 10, and I met with my staff the other day to develop a new word processor feature for my company's website. There's your band 9, okay? Again, I hope, students, that you are repeating what you hear, what I say, okay? Onisim says, I have no business background nor a company, but what can I say? Onisim, do you go to school meetings? Do you go to meetings with classmates to work on projects? Onisim, do you go to meetings at government offices to do some work with government workers for some reason, like planning your visa maybe? Do you go to work and meet with colleagues? Do you meet with your family sometimes to discuss your plans for your next vacation or for your next project or your schedule? Any of those would work for a good answer. The first ones that I visualized, because it's my world, was my 3-year-old daughter's meeting, it's true, and the meeting I had with my staff. But with the same effect, I could have visualized a family meeting, a meeting with government workers, a meeting with other fellow students. So up to you, okay? Don't restrict yourself. I'm sure that you meet with people to discuss a variety of topics, all right? We have some other great questions coming up, or other great responses, sorry, I should say. Hadi Ipek says, well, people meet each other for different purposes. It could be for a friendly chat, date, or job. I just had a meeting with my friends yesterday, and I hadn't seen them for a long time. Yeah, so it was a casual meeting, maybe to do a fun activity. Meeting just means getting together with a group of people in search of a common goal or discussion. The definition is up to you. Satisfying times. Chabi says, individuals may have different occasions to attend related to work, study, family, or friendly entertainment meetings. I have a daily meeting with Adrian to improve my English in AE Help. Very nice. So that, Chabi, for an examiner, it's clear that you're not memorizing. You're giving a genuine answer. You're very welcome, Onisim. All right. Barendra says, why not think about a meeting with a bank official to get a loan for a car or a house? Sure, Barendra, that works great. Okay. Carolina says, well, there are business and social meetings that people attend commonly. Not only do I have a weekly meeting with my boss, but also I meet my friends on the weekends to catch up on our activities and have some fun at my apartment. Very good, Carolina. A little bit with the grammar, careful, but otherwise, brilliant. Okay, works well. Carolina, with your answer, I can tell that you visualized it. You saw yourself meeting with your boss or your colleagues and with your friends on weekends. Okay, that's how you do it. Here we go. Next question. Now it's part 3. So we're going to do part 3 questions, and I really want everybody to focus on this type of logic. Okay, see the situations. Draw on that information, think about the why, think about the what, and create original, fluent examples. Here we go. Follow-up question. Which of these are the most important to be on time for? Again, visualize it. So here you can see yourself being late for meeting with a banker, teacher, a friend, a boss, and I'm sure you'll quickly figure out which one is the more important one to be on time for. Okay? Meanwhile, I'll read some more answers coming up. Violet Nguyen says, meeting parents is the most important to be on time for because my parents don't like their children being tardy. Violet Nguyen, another way you can express being late or not on time is tardy. T-R-D-Y. Tardy. Why? Yeah. Pachu says, there are several types of meetings that people often go to, such as corporate business meetings, staff meetings at the workplace, and community meetings to discuss social issues like global warming. Those are community meetings, Pachu. Very clever. Obviously, lots of types of meetings. Satisfying Time says, it should be school and work as these are supervised and require a certain time to enter. Usually there's punishment for being late, such as a pay cut. Okay, payment cut, pay cut, or salary cut. Okay. Carolina says it's crucial to be on time for business meetings because entrepreneurs are punctual and they're looking to make good deals with serious, reliable partners. Very good, Carolina. Juan Pablo says the most important meetings to be on time for are the ones related to work because being late for those can have negative repercussions. Juan Pablo, repercussions is usually used in the negative, just like consequences. So you don't need the word negative. You can just use repercussions, and we know that you are intending a negative. So you can just say being late to those can have repercussions such as being fired or getting fired. Okay? All right. NA says, I believe that every meeting should be attended on time. Being late would not leave a good impression, and attendees would not take the person seriously. All right, nice. Vanessa says, school and business meetings require more punctuality since a person's delay can interfere with other attendees' schedule or worse, can cause a company financial problems. Okay, for example, and then you're going into an example. Sure, Vanessa. You can just start with like or just to make your example flow smoothly. All right. In my opinion, business-related meetings are the most important for people to attend on time as being tardy can interfere with not only workflow, but also cash flow. In fact, I just fired an employee last week for being consistently late to meetings. Don't think me cruel. I'm just making that up. I didn't fire anybody. But for the IELTS, it doesn't matter. You can come up with imaginary responses. Again, repeat after me. Which of these are the most important to be on time for? In my opinion, business-related meetings are the most important for people to attend on time, as being tardy can interfere with not only workflow, but also cash flow. In fact, I just fired an employee last week for being consistently late to meetings. Okay. Good. All right. Let's go to the next question. Some people say that no one likes to go to meetings. What do you think? Okay, next question. So, some people say that no one likes to go to meetings. What do you think? Q Thian Nguyen says, in my opinion, there are many types of meetings, so everyone is in their mood to like or dislike attending the meeting. 2, it's attending the meeting. Careful. Hadi Ipek says, well, certain individuals don't like to communicate with others due to their personality. That's why they avoid meetings. Hadi, that's a partial answer. You need to give me more. Because here it's an absolute, it's a superlative, it's no one likes to go to meetings. So you have to say, well, some people probably like to attend meetings if they're social, while others may not. Okay. AJ Maharajan says, maybe some people find meetings a bit boring, but I personally like going to meetings because these help to find out work-related problems and solve them through group discussion. AJ, it's a nice answer, okay? It's very clear. Again, visualize it. So maybe AJ saw some of his colleagues sleeping at a meeting, which is easy to visualize. Well, although certain people think that going to meetings is boring, I believe that meeting new people in any context can result in a good connection for the future. Like my Uncle Lewis, who got in, okay, and then continuing there. Mihir says, there are some introverts. Introverts are people who are not social. The opposite is extrovert. Thank you, Mihir, for sharing that vocabulary. So remember those, introvert, extrovert. Chabi says, I totally agree. I'm actually one of them. I feel that meetings are boring and a waste of time, as they can just say the bullet points directly. They take hours to express the same idea. Good. Yeah, there's no right or wrong answer here. It's personal opinion. Chabi, as long as you're expressing it clearly, why not? Okay. All right. Onisim says, I totally disagree with this notion. People who ascertain that meetings are undesirable for the fact that some people find attending these meetings boring. Okay, Onisim, I think you're losing us at the end there. Rethink the end of what you're saying. Kriti Bajaj says, I believe that this is partially true. People who attend meetings for business profit will likely enjoy their meeting, but people who are introverted may not like meetings so much. Okay, let's go with the introverts, extroverts, all right? Whenever you see a superlative, students, like no one, it's usually not true, okay? So if you hear a question like, some people believe that everyone, or some people believe that no one, in 99.9% of these situations, your answer will be, I disagree. Because superlatives or absolutes, like all the time or never, are rarely ever true. Okay? So you can always start by saying, I don't agree with the notion that all people dislike attending meetings. In fact, certain people are extroverts and truly enjoy sharing their thoughts in group discussions. In fact, two of my colleagues try to hold company meetings just to discuss what they had done on the weekend. On the other hand, I'm certain that shy, introverted individuals opt to avoid such get-togethers. All right, so sharing some vocabulary with you as well here. It's a little bit of a long-winded response, but nonetheless accurate to the question. So here we go. Repeat after me. Some people say that no one likes to go to meetings. What do you think? I don't agree with the notion that all people dislike attending meetings. In fact, certain people are extroverts and truly enjoy sharing their thoughts in group discussions. In fact, two of my colleagues tried to hold company meetings just to discuss what they had done on the weekend. On the other hand, I'm certain that shy, introverted individuals opt to avoid such get-togethers. Okay? A get-together can be used as a noun. Get-together, noun. And I should hyphenate that. Okay? Such get-togethers. That's an expression in English which means meeting. Get-togethers are usually social or friendly meetings, get-togethers. Okay. All right. Here is the next question. How has the way people hold meetings changed compared to a generation before? Students, there are lots of brilliant answers. I will try to get to different answers at different times, okay? I promise you. We're just moving along nicely here today to cover as many questions as possible. So here's the next one for us. How has the way people hold meetings changed compared to a generation before? Okay. So AJ says, comparatively, people a few decades back had meetings for official purposes like schools and work, but nowadays people often have casual meetings for socializing and chit-chat. AJ, I think that's a bit awkward. I would argue that people had work-related and fun-related meetings a generation ago the same as we do today. Waqaz Nawaz says, in the modern era, conducting meetings with the help of slides using projectors and the latest visual aids is very popular. On the other hand, in the past, we used to have a room with chairs, a bunch of files. Yes, flip boards. Flip boards are the where you have, the standing board with the paper, and then you flip the paper. It's called a flip board, Wakas. Flip board. Okay? We still use those, but definitely more popular in the past. Carolina says, since my parents' generation, the way people hold meetings has changed a lot. Back then, people met in person in their offices, but nowadays, individuals can just meet over the internet to communicate. Very clever, Carolina. Can you tell us a piece of software that people frequently use for these? Okay. Emerald Absolution says, grammar is formality. I have been amplified on my use of it, but in my actual line of work, formality was more unconventional. I'm not sure where you're going with that, Emerald Absolution, but interesting. Navdeep Singh says, I love you. Thank you, Navdeep. Satisfying Time says, technology has really made, Chabi, use the present perfect there. Technology has really made meetings easier compared to the past. Nowadays, meetings are held online through applications, and there's no need to be physically present in the same room. You still have to be physically present, just not in the same space. Okay, Mihir says, people are now starting to apply audio and video calls to meetings, which was not possible 30, 40 years ago. Mihir, generation ago, roughly 30 years. So name it. Okay, name the specific number, quantify. NA says the methods have changed significantly compared to a generation before. Technology has allowed us to attend meetings from the comfort of our home with people from all around the world. NA, that's beautiful. Give me an example. Say, just the other week, I had a budget meeting with 3 different people who were all located on different continents: Asia, North America, and South America. Okay, so give me a little bit more. Juan Pablo says, it has changed thanks to technology. I love how many of my regular viewers are now picking up that anytime there's this comparative of the present to the past or to the future, you can most of the time identify technology as the key ingredient to the change that has happened, and you reflect the present perfect nature of the question. That's fantastic. So Juan Pablo says, it has changed thanks to technology. Nowadays, people can have meetings through applications such as Skype and Zoom, which can share not only video and audio files and documents, but even record meetings. Yesterday, I was in just such a meeting, learning English online with a group of students from around the world. Juan Pablo, very nice. That is, Juan Pablo, where I can see that you are specifically visualizing the context because you see yourself using Skype and Zoom. And for that reason, Juan Pablo, you have one of the strongest answers that I've read so far. It's clearly up there with the band 8-9 category. Okay? So the development of modern technology has significantly changed the way people meet these days as opposed to 30 or 40 years ago. Applications like Skype and Zoom not only allow people to meet from the comfort of their homes, but they can also share files, pictures, and even record the meeting for future review. This simply wasn't available during my parents' time. All right, good, excellent. Repeat after me. How has the way people hold meetings changed compared to a generation before? The development of modern technology has significantly changed the way people meet these days as opposed to 30 or 40 years ago. Applications like Skype and Zoom have not only allowed people to meet from the comfort of their own homes. Let's try to give a bit more present perfect. Have not only allowed people to meet from the comfort of their own homes, but people can also share files, pictures, and even record meetings for future review. This simply wasn't available during my parents' time. Okay, very good. All right, excellent. Good job, everyone. Here's the next question, follow-up. Is this good or bad? So here we go. Next one. Is this good or bad? Hadi Ipek says, in my opinion, it's bad. Although technology makes communication easier, it has decreased face-to-face meetings, which is more valuable for me. Like meeting my mother is irreplaceable with a video call. Like meeting my mother in person is irreplaceable with video call. Hadi Ipek, not unexchangeable. It would be inexchangeable, but it's not inexchangeable in that context. It's irreplaceable. Okay. Mihir Joshi says, it's a great idea because sometimes individuals are not able to attend meetings due to the distance of locations and sometimes due to bad health. So I think this is helpful for humankind. Mihir, very good. Maybe you visualized yourself attending a meeting when you have the flu from home because it was really important. You can throw that example into the end of your answer, Mihir. Just last week, I was down with the flu, had a really important budget meeting, and I was able to attend. I was really glad that I could. Okay. Q Thun Nguyen says, holding a meeting maybe can be with 2 or more people in a group discussion to solve a problem. So it has been good to change the way to hold meetings in order to have opportunities for more people to attend. Okay, watch your grammar cue. Otherwise, your responses will become incomprehensible. Barendra says, earlier people used to have meetings going to one place and getting together, but nowadays time is very important for people, and using advanced technology, meeting people you can meet people or people can meet through the use of software and hardware. Supreme IELTS lesson says, in my opinion, organizing meetings over vast distances is a very positive development, as it has provided participants with not only great comfort, but also great collaboration. Okay, not bad, Supreme IELTS. Students, when you start your answer here, so the original question is, how has the way people hold meetings changed compared to a generation before? Now, this is present perfect, right? And so we answered in present perfect. Now comes the follow-up question. Is this good or bad? It does make sense, even though this is present simple, expressing a general concept. It is a good idea to continue with present perfect if you can, because you're within the same context. So you can answer that with present perfect. I genuinely believe that this has been a positive development. Whoa. For humankind, as people are not only able to meet over vast distances, but they also save valuable commute time and use media tools that make meetings more effective. Okay. So, and then of course you can throw in that example. Just the other day, I attended a meeting from Budapest, which was hosted in Tokyo. Okay? And then stop there. Right? So, repeat after me. Is this good or bad? I genuinely believe this has been a positive development for humankind, as people are not only able to meet over vast distances, but they also save valuable commute time and use media tools that make meetings more effective. Just the other day, I attended a meeting from Budapest, which was hosted in Tokyo. Whoa, okay. So, let's keep going. Okay, here we go. Let's discuss group work. Group work, okay. It's kind of a similar concept. So here we go. What are the advantages of working in a group? There we go. Give me a nice full sentence answer for that one. What are the advantages of working in a group? Okay, hopefully you're visualizing yourself working in a group, perhaps at your job or in school, and you're building up the reasons for why that is. Okay, me here saying cheers to everyone for effort. Nice, say second that idea. We have some brilliant responses from many students. Very, very good. Okay. Awaz says, when it comes to group work, I do not like working in groups because it creates disorder while competition or discussing essential problems. Awaz, that's not the question. The question isn't, do you like it or not? The question is, what are advantages of working in a group? Okay. Pachu says, well, there are several benefits to working in groups, such as increased creativity, improved performance, and productivity. It can be easier to attain a goal. Mehreen Farouk says, in my opinion, it is good to work in groups because in this way, people can have more and better ideas that can improve the final result. Mehreen Farouk, I changed your response a bit. You started off well. And then you have to be a little bit careful with the word choice. Oh, no need to apologize, Awaz. Just correct and repeat. Okay. All right. Sania Adnan says, working group-wise is beneficial because it saves time. However, it can lead to chaos. Sanya, nobody's asking what it can lead to. That's the next question, the follow-up. So students, when you're asked about the advantages, don't talk about the disadvantages because you'll lose band scores. The examiner will think that you misunderstood the question. Okay, don't miscommunicate. Joanne says, I believe that group work is the most effective way for people to learn and benefit from the ideas of others. Okay. So, as the saying goes, two minds are better than one. People do problem solving much more effectively when working in groups. The reason for this is the difference in perspectives when dealing with a challenge. In addition, the work gets done faster because, as the saying goes, divide and conquer. For these reasons, I always organize projects as group work in my company. All right, so I'm being a little bit fancy pants here, okay, with these sayings. It's just because I'm teaching you these for fun. Only use sayings and idioms if you are 1000% sure that you're using them correctly. Otherwise, they are really strange and they can drop or lower your score because they can be very confusing. So here I'm just having a little bit of fun with it for the end of this class. So here we go. Repeat after me. What are the advantages of working in a group? As the saying goes, two minds are better than one. People do problem solving much more effectively when working in groups. The reason for this is the difference in perspectives when dealing with a challenge. In addition, the work gets done faster because, as the saying goes, divide and conquer. For these reasons, I always organize projects as group work in my company. Okay, and then we have a follow-up question. Are there any disadvantages? Are there any disadvantages? Probably the answer is yes. There are always disadvantages. Now Awaz is saying, when it comes to group work, I do not like working in groups. Okay, Awaz, it's still not asking for your opinion, so you have to generalize. Okay, so are there any disadvantages? Wakaz says, I would say the demerits of group work is always there. For example, scarcity of ideas may be an issue. Apart from that, it can prevail negative competition, which could delay project delivery. Jia Chang Chen replies with, curiosity killed the cat, so I don't really care. Yeah, kind of works. Again, careful just trying to force expressions into context, okay? Okay, and he says there might be some disadvantages as well, like disagreements over the quality and quantity of work shared. There might also, very good, NA, I can very clearly tell that you're visualizing the concepts here, which is very good. So there might also be a chance of destroying the project because there are too many cooks in the kitchen. Too many cooks spoil the broth. It's possible. Okay, you can use that expression, NA. That's a good one there. Too many cooks in the kitchen is an expression that means there's too many people trying to make decisions on what to do. All right. AJ says, yeah, sometimes people might have problems making decisions due to the availability of many alternatives, and some misunderstandings might arise due to clashing ideas. In groups, there can often be a diffusion of responsibility where each member expects the other to do the work. And this can lead to inaction. Furthermore, there can be power, it's two words, power struggle among the members in the group, which leads to conflict. So, yes, there are certainly potential pitfalls to group work. Okay, so repeat after me. Are there any disadvantages to group work? In groups, there can often be a diffusion of responsibility where each member expects the other to do the work, and this can lead to inaction. Furthermore, there can be power struggle among the members in the group, which leads to conflict. So, yes, there are certainly potential pitfalls to working in groups. That is the last question that we will take in this class. I'll leave these ones for you for homework. In which types of situations do people often work in groups? Can you elaborate? What are some typical roles assigned in group work? Those last two questions you can answer on your own. Students, please record that as an MP3 and send it as an MP3 recording. Too many students type the answers in email, and that's not really effective. If you send it to me as an MP3, I can give you a more accurate band score assessment, and you can send it to my email, adrian@aehelp.com. For over 100 hours of HD videos, so obviously not like these live streams, but high quality video lessons with me and some other teachers. Join our premium packages. GeneralIELTSHelp.com or GIELTSHelp.com with the green background here. Click that red button to join. There's the URL up there. For the academic, it's the blue background. Click that red button there. aehelp.com. That's it for this class for this week. I will be back on Wednesday at the same time with speaking part 1, practice and strategy. Some new questions for you. You're very welcome, NA, Vanessa, Bopin. Much love to all of you. Thanks for the great effort in this class. Keep it up. Keep pushing forward. Remember, your brains are the most amazing supercomputers known in the human universe, and they are able to do incredible feats, so believe in yourself. Bye for now.